we have Dr. Geert and Dr. Mandel with us. You can tell us something more about the case. And
voor de Franstalen. De Franstalen moet ik Oei.
Hello everybody. I was not prepared to say it in English, but I was not prepared to say it in Netherlands neither, so that doesn't make a big difference. So Madel and I, we just came back from the Philippines, and normally we planned out of our family visit in the Philippines together with CHD, the Council for Health and Development, which is a partner of Geneeskunde voor de Derde Wereld Medicine voor de Tiers Monde, to visit some projects and some partners inside the Philippines. Unfortunately, on February 6th, if I'm not mistaken, the military decided that they had to do a raid on the training of health workers. So what was going on? CHD, as I said, the Council for Health and Development, they do already 30 years that they are training people who come from remote areas, who come from the slums, who come from the suburbs, who have little or no money to pay a doctor, to train them with the idea of the barefoot, the blote voeten doctors from China. Based on that concept, they train people, even people who hardly know to read or to write. That's what they do already about 30 years. So that same CHD was now doing a training where in together there were 43 people, trainers and people who wanted to follow that course to become a barefoot doctor. And apparently for the military, who before never attacked medical missions, you know, I think most of you know the campaign Stop the Killings, so it's not new that in the Philippines people are harassed, even till the fact that they are killed over trade union leaders, farmers organization, women organization, student organizations, that we were already used, quote unquote. The medical sector up till now had still some kind of some respect, let us say, that they did not harass the medical associations. So what happened now on that February 6th, well, they were having a training course early in the morning where some were still sleeping, some were preparing the food, military and police with over 300 persons, and to see how, with what big forces they came over there, they dropped inside, they arrested everybody. First of all, it was completely illegal the way they did it, because they had no search warrant of arrest or whatever, geen nazoekingsbevel, geen arrestatiebevel, things that formally you normally need to have. And even if the military were appointed by some lawyers, you need that, they show up later with a warrant of arrest and a searching for the house with even the wrong name. But they did just as they like to do it. So what happened then, and we have this information since we went to some meetings, because if you know Filipino organizations, they will not leave it like that. Immediately protest was organized, and we assisted one of the meetings of the UP University. Of the UP University, were some witness of what was happening there. So it's not only just arresting some people, maybe first something about what they were saying. The official explanation, what they were saying first, like it was like a training camp to learn to make bombs, grenades, etc. And so they put some evidence inside, of which they take pictures by telling there were grenades, there were guns, there was material to make bombs. Well, to be honest, if you're an organization who wants to make these things, you don't do that in a normal civil house where it is open and you come in and out. You will be more smart to do that. first of all. Second, they had no intention to do that. There were 2 doctors, 2 nurses over there to give the training. If you want to have weapons of experts, you don't need doctors to do that. Well, at least it's not my specialty. But anyhow, that was what they said. They were making bombs. One of them is a doctor over 60 years plus, who was many years already as a volunteer for Protestant Christian organizations working as a doctor. From him they said he had the plan to kill General Palparan. Palparan was one of the bloodiest generals over there, who is really good protected. Even the idea to go to kill that man is already a brave idea. And then say to a man over 60 that he was the brainer, it's completely ridiculous. So then what happened to these people? Can I please have a little bit attention? It's a bit disturbing if you're talking, and I am not prepared, as I said, in Netherlands or English. So what did they do with them is not only arresting them and putting them, they put them in a military camp, which was also illegal. If you arrest them for some criminal things, they have to be in a normal prison. They put them in a military camp, which is isolated 2 hours from center Manila, where there is no villages around. The first 36 hours they were all blindfolded, had no right to speak to a lawyer, to family, to nobody. They could not go to the toilet. Can you imagine? For 36 hours you have to do all your things inside your pants for humiliation. Many of them have been beaten up, have been electric shocks. Later, when doctors could visit them, they could see the signs of burning wounds on the hands and the feet and on the genitals, how they were giving electric shocks. They were doing psychological, and still up till now, psychological torture in telling, we know where your family lives. Many of these people have wife, have husband, have children, have relatives, which they threaten them. They keep them in isolation, and they threaten them, if you do not cooperate with us, we will find them. Something will happen, you know, and people know, like the killings, that around 1,000 of persons has been killed by unknown people. So they threaten them. Of course, officially, if some of these people will be killed, it will not be the army or police who will say, we killed them. But they threaten them with it. So for the family, who is in fear also, are now a bit kept together. Most of them don't even go to their house. They stay together to be protected for not to being killed. So...
De koning.
No, I think it's my colleague, the Prime Minister or the Ambassador or the King, what's the number plate? Tick. Anyhow, it's a too serious topic.
You know what stop? Stop the kolen. Stop the kolen, dan moet je...
Moet ik dan stoppen? Het zal doen.
Anyhow, it's a too serious topic to make jokes about it. It is really, if you hear describing it, what has been